Doctor Strange. You think you know how the world works? What if I told you the reality you know is one of many?
There were three pinch yourself, oh my goodness, I'm playing a superhero moments rather in the making of this. The first was putting the cape on for the first time, the cloak I should say, sorry, in the costume fitting, and I got caught out by our designer who just said, oh yeah, I've seen that look before, because I was just smiling gormlessly in the mirror. And she said, you're having a superhero moment, and that was probably the first time. And then the second was on the streets, where that meme appeared and then went around the world, of Churton and I sort of jumping and skipping. And yet, it was a profound moment in a way, despite how ridiculous it looked, because we were in the shadow of the Empire State Building on Fifth Avenue. It's such a New York-based character, but to be literally in the eye line of that great building where a lot of these comics were first drawn was sort of a moment. And then the third one was watching it at the premiere, and by the end of the film, my God, he's earned his cloak moments, and he really is a superhero and an Avenger in the making.
Through the mystic arts, we harness energy and shape reality. We travel great distances in an instant.
What was for you the biggest challenge introducing magic into this universe where we have these superheroes and a lot of technology, but we haven't had magic like this before?
I mean, the biggest challenge was, first of all, to throw out old ideas of magic, because I think we've been relying on the same tropes for the whole history of cinema, I mean, going all the way back to, German Expressionism and Dr. Caligari, and all the way through the Harry Potter movies. There's certain uses of magic bolts of light and fireballs. There's this colored amorphous light idea of magic that's not very interesting, and spells being cast with verbal incantations, and then you watch something magic happening. I wanted it to be a much more visceral kind of magic, rooted in gestures and messing with the fabric of reality itself, and the idea of magic being a mind trip, and having an acid trip quality to it. That's just all what I was wanting to see, as a movie goer.
I've spent so many years peering through time, looking.
How did you come up with all these amazing visuals? I mean, this is like the most fun I had in a Marvel movie in a long, long time. just watching these crazy scenes. So
yeah, it's it all goes back to the innovation and inventiveness of the comics. It's a psychedelic comic, it was a product of the mid to late 60s when people were making acid trip art, and I love that stuff. I love that era. I love the mind expansion idea. I love the spirituality of it, and I wanted to bring that into the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but not in a nostalgic way, like a throwback to the 60s. I wanted to do it, in a contemporary way. I wanted to give audiences a new way of thinking about magic and the psychedelic and the mystical and the metaphysical.
What did you just do to me?
I pushed your astral form out of your physical form.
What's in that tea? Psilocybin? LSD?
It's just tea with a little honey.
It was great fun, and also like the weirdest Marvel movie I've ever seen. Was that also something that attracted you to this project?
Yeah. Although, to be honest, I think if they'd asked me to be in any of the others, I would have been very interested. But yeah, it just felt like the film that I wanted to see. I knew Doctor Strange. I was so psyched when I heard, even before I spoke to Scott Derrickson, I heard that they were going to make a film of Doctor Strange. I was thrilled by that, because I know how Doctor Strange really did something new to the Marvel comic universe, and it's going to do something strange to the cinematic universe now, in the way that Guardians of the Galaxy went off that way and Ant-Man went off that way, and now we're going off this way with this one, and it's a boom time for Marvel. They're kicking it, but it was thrilling, really thrilling to be involved.
So I understand you knew the comics before. Are you a big comic fan?
I'm a fan. I'm not, incredibly well versed. It so happens that Doctor Strange was the first Marvel comic strip that I got to know when I was at university. But I'm a fan of Guardians of the Galaxy, for example. And I'm a fan of Captain Marvel as well, and I'm really looking forward to that kicking off.
What's this, my mantra?
It's the Wi-Fi password. We're not savages.
So how is it for you now being part of this whole Marvel cinematic
thrilling,
universe?
really thrilling. I mean, I bought my ticket and my popcorn and had thrills for the last near 8 years with what their output's been, and to think I'm joining that roster of characters and those worlds, that universe now, very, very exciting. Especially because in the instance of this character, he's bringing something very different to all of that. He's broadening and widening and opening new dimensions in the cinematic universe, and so the canvas and playpen of it all has just got a lot bigger.
You'll die protecting this world.
I can't do this.
There is no other way.